This protest was staged when the Chinese Communist leader Hu Jintao visited the White House in April. Dr. Wenyi Wang is an MD and PhD. You just saw her protesting outside the White House. Former Space Shuttle astronaut Tom Jones. He spent 11 years in NASA's astronaut program.
Our job was to bring up a big laboratory called Destiny.
Then the rebels came and took us.
So who were the people that you were made to kill?
They were civilians.
At the age of 13 years old, he was shot in the leg and recovered by the government. And he said, I want to be a journalist like you because the world needs to know about what's happening here in Uganda.
The real-life hero in the movie Hotel Rwanda.
In charge of the Center for Women's Studies.
We lived through terrible years.
Trafficking worldwide is 600 to 800,000 people.
We've invited 8 studio audience members to be with us tonight, and each person will be asking questions of our special guest panelist.
Nando Parrado was only 19 when he caught the plane for Chile. He was one of Uruguay's top rugby players. Of the 45 passengers and crew who boarded the plane, only 16 men were to return.
The plane broke in half, the wings were lost, and everybody was sitting behind my row in the airplane. I was sitting right in the middle of the airplane, died on the initial impact.
This is Matt. Hey, Matt, you're on the show. Good evening.
Good evening. Great show.
Thanks,
and,
man.
I heard earlier the pastor referring to the need for male mentors and the importance of male mentors.
Our goal of this generation is the same.
If you had one message for young voters before the election, what would that be?
Don't mess it up.
Hi, we're from PBS and we're asking young people about the election coming up. So what issues are important to you?
Probably the most important issue would be the war in Iraq right now to me.
So do you think there's going to be a bigger turnout among young voters this time?
I think so, because MTV is doing a lot of campaigning.
This former IRA member was sentenced to 22 years on criminal charges in Northern Ireland, but was released early as part of the peace process. Tonight on Foreign Relations, we'll follow the case of Kieran Ferry and his struggle with the U.S. immigration authorities.
They need to seriously consider what they're doing to 2 of their own citizens.
If you want to go fast, you got to pay for it.
How does Kosovan refugee Samir Krasniki feel about NATO's intervention?
I'm pleased with their bombing, and I think they should continue. Of course, Europe will win.
Mae yna fudiad Cristnogol newydd yn recriwtio ar strydoedd Cymru.
Me and my friend Alison, we go to a local church.
International Churches of Christ wedi cyrraedd Caerdydd. Ond heno mae cyn aelod o'r mudiad yn rhybuddio bod yr eglwys di difethau bywyd hi. Nawr, jet skis yw'r cres diweddara ar ddŵr. Ond yn America, yn y 6 mlynedd diwethaf yn unig, mae 200 i cael ei lladd mewn damweiniau jet ski. Hon oedd un o'r damweiniau difrifol cyntaf yn America. Diweddarach, fe fiodd y dyn farw mewn sbyty.
Heno, am y tro cyntaf, mae'r dyn yma'n dweud i fod bron a cael ei ladd, pan ddath jet RAF o fewn trwch blewyn i daro i awyren O'i hofrenyddion nhw wedi cael sawl near miss mewn cyfnod o 2 blynedd.
Good evening and welcome to Quantum Factor, the show that explores the nature of reality and the mysteries of the mind. I'm your host, Alison Hill. Tonight's special guest sparked a revolution of thought with the hit movie, What the Bleep Do We Know?
We get into some neurology, how the brain patterns and how that affects how we experience
scientists have claimed that we use less than 10% of our brain's capacity and that a lot of human potential lies dormant because most of us don't know how to access the rest. Now, tonight's guest is here to share with us how we can utilize more of our brain power and change our lives forever. Joe, welcome to the show and thanks for joining us tonight.
Pleasure to be here, Alison.
Siham Hatab Hamdan is a member of the Baghdad City Council and the Baghdad Provincial Council. She also serves on the District Council of the Sadr City District of Baghdad. Siham, thank you very much for joining us tonight. What was your initial reaction and most people's initial reaction to the US-led invasion of Iraq?
In fact, it's undeniable truth that we are happy that we got rid of Saddam Hussein.
Good evening and welcome to a special episode of Colorado Decides 2004. You're here in Colorado with the New Voters Project. Why are you doing this?
For a variety of reasons. One is it's an incredibly important election.
Emil Nawithin, rhaid rhaglen y dydd wedi hyn newid I fod mewn lliw. Hi, welcome to Drop Frame. Yes, we're back with Season 2, fresh from our Emmy nomination and ready for more real life, real film, real issues. We have a great lineup for you as usual tonight, including a special interview with KNRC radio talk show host Enid Goldstein. And we're going to be looking at the FCC and the new standards of broadcasting decency. Who's phoning up the FCC complaining, do you think?
Not really very many people.
We'll be taking a look at a collection of independent productions over the next hour, so stay with us. Tell us about your work. What motivates you to do these excellent videos? I'm here with Connie Moore. Connie, thank you so much for letting Drop Frame film here today. Well, that's about all we have time for on Drop Frame tonight. We'll be back March 26. See you then.